So we're going to do a measuring activity today. Now, I decided to make it a little more fun, and you can do the same thing at home too. You just need an object, or I should say several objects that are the same size. I chose Easter eggs. If you don't have that, you can use something else at home that you might have. Maybe if you have cars, you could tape little cars onto a ruler. I used a yardstick. You probably don't have a yardstick at home, and that's fine. If you have something else like that's long like that you can use, or a ruler, that is fine too, and you can tape it on there. As long as the objects you use are the same size, or if you don't have anything that's all the same size, you can cut out shapes from paper. Like if you want to do squares, you can count how many squares long something is. But with mine, I'm going to be using Easter eggs today, so when I'm doing my measurement, I will be saying how many Easter eggs long something is. Now, if you don't have anything to tape them onto, that's fine too. So you can also just take individual ones, and I'll show you how we can do that in the next section. All right, so first up, let's measure the width of my table. So I put my ruler on there, okay? So then it goes all across the table. So then I would count how many eggs long my table is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. My table is 18 eggs long. This is a fun way to practice measuring and counting. Like I said earlier, if you don't have anything to tape your objects onto, that's fine too. You can do things that are loose, like I'll show you how you can do it with, whoa, I just threw one, how you can do it with individual objects. So hang on. Okay, so if you're just working with loose objects, that is awesome too. So you just set them down. Eggs probably aren't the best one to use for that. So hopefully you have something that's not round and that won't roll. So then you just set them across the table like such. And then I would count along as you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get the point. I won't keep doing it because they keep rolling off the table. I thought we'd measure my chair. So you just line it up straight and tall right next to your object that you're measuring. It'd be good to have one hand to hold it, but since one of my hands is holding my phone and the other needs to point, I can't. So let's start at the bottom and count. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm up to 20, and I have a little bit more space. So what I can do is I can go into my little extra stash here, since I'm doing this one-handed. It looks like about one more. So my chair is 21 eggs tall. Another fun thing to do would be to measure how tall you are. So if you don't have a yardstick or something else to tape your objects to, that's cool. Just lay on the floor and have somebody line them up next to you. Or maybe you can measure your mom and dad and see how tall they are. Now, if your child is a little bit younger, I would use bigger objects because then it's less to count. If your child's a little bit older, I would use some smaller objects. Give them more of a challenge. It's just something off the top of my head I thought of. You could always use like cereal, like if you have Cheerios or something. Put Cheerios on the table, line them up. How many Cheerios long is your table? Things like that. So look around the house, get creative. If you have a lot of something in the same size, go for it. Turn it into your own ruler. Pennies could be another thing, quarters, dollar bills. If you have that many dollar bills, I don't know. Anything else, be creative. Those of you who are working on writing, you can also have a notebook where you can write down the measurements you take. So when I measured the chair, I saw that the chair was 21 eggs tall and the table was 18 eggs wide. So you can get a little writing practice in there too.